Hey everyone! In today's video, we're talking about what small businesses in France need to know and do. And my guest today is Heloise De Castelnau. She's a French lawyer specializing in small businesses and intellectual property. She's going to be answering all your questions about the financial aids out there, what you need to do, where to go, and how to be well prepared for the after coronavirus lockdown. So stay tuned for the interview. Thank you so much, Héloïse, for being here today with us.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to help.
Great. So micro entrepreneurs and self-employed, like we call them indépendants in France, they are entitled to 1,500 euros in financial compensation by the government during this coronavirus crisis. So can you tell us a little bit more about this aid? Is it monthly, and who is really eligible for this financial help?
Okay, for the moment, we still don't know if it's monthly, okay? We know it's gonna work for the month of March. The people who are entitled to this aid are two kind of people. It's really for small businesses. Your revenue has to be lower than 1 million euros a year, and your income, the income of your society, your company, your business, have to be lower than 60,000 euros a year, okay? If you are a small business and does it go above those amounts, I'm sorry about the noise, but because of the confinement, I have to be here. Sorry about that.
No worries.
If you are small businesses and you don't go above this amount, you are eligible, or if you have a fermeture administrative. For example, if you have a shop or a bar and the government said you have to close it down because of the confinement, then you can ask for this help. And also, if you have if your revenue just get down for 50%, okay? So in March 2019, for example, your revenue was 5,000 euros, and this March of 2020, it's 2,500 euros, then you can ask for the help.
Okay, and how responsive is the government to pay you that money?
Well, actually, I did my own demand on Monday. I didn't get anything yet, but I have clients who made the demand last Friday and they received the check yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's pretty good, isn't it?
That's pretty good, absolutely. So I am just checking. The only things that I want to mention is that if you want to help, you should not have any debt with taxes and cotisation sociale, So if you have debt, yes, but if you have debt, I will first demand for to the URSSAF or to the tax office to just how do you say that in English? Just to freeze your debt. Mm-hmm. I will do that first. It is possible because of the coronavirus. You can ask for freezing of all debts with the government, with the tax office, etc. Mm-hmm. So I will do that first, and then I will ask for the help of 1,500 euros.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm clear.
Yeah, you're perfectly clear. Now, when are we supposed to know whether the 1,500 is monthly or not? Because if it's one-off payment, obviously it's not enough.
It's not enough. I totally agree. But for the moment, that the only thing that what they say, there is another help of 2,000 euros that you can ask at April 15, but the conditions are different. For example, the 2,000 euro help, it's only for people who have one employee. For example, for this reason, people who don't have any employee, like me, most of micro entrepreneurs cannot ask for that other help of aid of 2,000 euros. You also have another aid, which is the aid from the URSSAF. You just have to fill a form, and there is no amount, there is no specific criteria. You just go and fill up the form. You give them your last income and last revenue of 2019, and after that the URSSAF is going to give a little bit of money to entrepreneurs, but we still don't really know how they're going to choose to what kind of entrepreneurs they are giving money. The problem with the confinement, the coronavirus, is that I think that people at the tax office and at the URSSAF are a little bit overwhelmed. So, even them, they still don't really know what's going on. I do believe that the government is going to give more help to entrepreneurs in April, but, the confinement was decided until April 15, and then it's just decided yesterday that it's going to, last a little bit more. So I'm guessing that all the help are going to come.
Right. Now, in the meantime, are small businesses still bound to paying their rent, their gas, the electricity bills, or can they not pay?
Okay, they can stop paying for now. Nothing going to happen to them. No one is going to bring them to court. They are allowed to not pay anything. You have to know that in France, for example, if you work from home, even if there is no confinement and no coronavirus, if you don't pay your rent, no one is going to put you out your apartment in 2 years. It's not like United States when you don't pay your rent and the next month you have to go. In France, things are really, really slow. It's the same thing for electricity. Electricity company is not allowed to cut off your electricity during winter. So I will not, I will stop. For me, for example, I stopped to pay my rent. I keep paying my money and I will see that next month. We'll see that in May. But the rent and the bills are not canceled. So you have to keep in mind that in a few months, you will have to pay. Even if you pay you pay a little by little, I think you will be fine, but you have to know that the debt is not canceled. Your bills are not canceled.
Okay, great. So you mentioned a few helps like the URSSAF one, and then the 1,500, the 2,000 euro. Are there any other financial aids that are available for entrepreneurs at the moment?
Well, there is a URSSAF aid. There is you can ask to the URSSAF and tax office for delay. You can always ask for cancellation of taxes. There is a form that I can give you later that you can fill up and ask for cancellation of taxes. This is a possibility. If you have a kid at home who cannot go to school anymore, you are entitled to have an arrêt de travail, and your social security company, Amélie, CPA AIM, is going to give you 56 euro per day from March 16 until the end of the confinement. So it's about 2,000 a month.
Okay, so that's for
people who have a kid. Actually, people who have a kid at home are actually a little bit lucky with this decision, because the government is going to give them about 2,000 euros a month.
Yeah, is that 56 euros per kid or for?
No, for you. Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't matter how many kids you have, like yours.
Doesn't matter. It just considers the fact that having kids at home, you cannot work from home, which is totally logical.
Right. So now tell me, where should we go? Like, what website should we go to? And actually, how much French should we know to be able to fill out all this paperwork?
Well, it's actually very overwhelming. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm a lawyer. I have my business for 15 years, and I felt very overwhelmed with all this form. So I want to tell you, audience, like, if you feel guilty not speaking French, good French, and thinking, okay, I'm in France, but I don't speak French well, etc., don't feel bad. It's the same for French people. We are just overwhelmed with all this form. It's absolutely awful. So honestly, I can give you some screenshot, but what I wanted to share with you is that, I have a YouTube channel giving advices in French, and I'm considering making a few videos in English regarding coronavirus, so I can really share the form and kind of fill it up with the people, because it is quite challenging. So for now, for your show, I can give you like screenshot, I can give you YouTube videos who are making this in French. But I suggest that your audience watch my video next week, and I will share this information in English, because it is quite challenging. I just want to mention for the first aid of 1,500 euros that you have to do that on your tax your tax website
Yeah.
on your particulier. Actually, it's pretty, I don't think you do have to have a good level in English, because you just have, to check when you see COVID-19, you kind of go there and kind of fill things up. But it is quite challenging, because with one aid, for each aid you have a different form.
So we need to go to URSSAF website. What other website should we go to?
Impot.gouv.
Mm-hmm.
And for the parents who have a kid at home, you go to declareamelie.fr.
Okay. Perfect. Great. So what are your last recommendations for businesses to best prepare for the post-coronavirus? I mean, businesses, they're most of them like impacted by this. So what are your really recommendations and best tips for them to be really prepared?
Okay, so I will prepare first. I will always communicate with your creditors. You write to your landlord, you run to the tax office, you explain them the situation by mail. You find a French friend who can help you to write the letter, but it's always good to communicate with your creditors. The worst behaviors that you can have is, try to escape from reality, to not look at your bank statement. It's really good, I think, to confront reality and always, okay, write to your landlord, I'm sorry, I cannot pay you for this month and next month. I will pay you maybe a half of the rent in July, in August. All of this is going to help you manage the situation. The second thing that I would do is, after the confinement, you want to go to the tax office once, and you want to go to the URSSAF once. You take an appointment by mail, you bring your French friends, and nothing replaces human contact. You speak with the counselor, he explains you things. I'm pretty sure everybody has questions about things, about taxes and everything, because it's very complicated. And if you see one counselor just once, it's going to help you to manage the situation. And my third advice is, if you see and you feel that your business is really going down, you have to see a lawyer once, just to manage the end of your business. Business fall down all the time, and the better you manage the end of your current business, the easier it's going to be to start your new business. So it's really confront reality. Businesses, even if there is no coronavirus, as entrepreneurs, we know that there is ups and downs. And if you have to face up a bankruptcy, just do it in a good way. Every big entrepreneurs we know had to face up that once in his life. Okay.
Okay, well, that's very invaluable tips. Thank you, Héloïse, for that. So which leads me to my last question is, where can we find you? Like, you're a lawyer, you help small businesses and small entrepreneurs. Where can we find you? How can we get in touch with you if we need help, or if you need like consultancy service? Where can we find you?
Well, my website is actually in process to be built, because I changed it. So you can find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that I started about 1.5 years ago, with a lot of video in French explaining tips and administrative questions about being an entrepreneur in France. I have my LinkedIn. It's the same thing. I communicate a lot of LinkedIn, and I have a Facebook page. You just type my name and you will find me.
Okay, perfect. I actually put down all the links in the description.
Thank you very much.
Easily find you and be in touch with you. Thank you so much, Héloïse, for your time, for your precious advice. I hope it's going to help a lot of entrepreneurs who have this, zillion questions about what's going on, because it's such a frustrating time for most people. And yeah,
I know.
difficult. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
See you very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.